was trying to do the thing like going around the cone.
Clutch kick it. Hey, what's going on? What you just saw there was Martin driving around in his E39. What we did was we cut the exhaust off, we welded the diff, gutted the interior, installed the Recaro, and he's just driving around having some fun. I'm going to do a follow-up video showing you more of that car and how it behaves and everything, but what I want to do in this video is catch you up on the SC. I know I haven't posted in a while, I'm sorry about that. I lost my camera in Hawaii on vacation, but I've now got a new GoPro and I want to show you what's up with the SC. And we will start off with the turbo kit, and this is the turbo that I've got. It is an On3 7665 with a stainless steel exhaust housing. It's a 0.96 AR exhaust housing. I'm gonna flip it around so I can show you the compressor, and it is massive. Here it is in relation to my hand. Look at that. Wow. This thing is huge. I'm gonna have the turbo mounted like this on the passenger side of the car. I'm gonna make a merge pipe. It's gonna go in here. The exhaust is gonna run this way and down into the back. And for installation, it's super easy because I can clock it however which way I want, rather than fighting 4 bolts, you know, if it's a T4 setup, and trying to get those to line up. But with the Vband, it basically, you know, pops in place. You wrap the Vband around it, tighten it up. You can clock it, and you're good to go. It's really awesome. It's super convenient. And with the stainless steel, I won't have to worry about rusting, which is awesome. However, I am going to put a turbo blanket on top of it because if you increase the EGTs, the exhaust does flow quickly. You improve the velocity and everything. So I'm going to header wrap the crossover tubes and everything to also further improve their velocity and everything. So with this merge pipe over here, basically hand fit. I'm gonna cut it, do some more trimming, but so far so good. The stock truck manifolds are flipped around. We've got it mated to a V-band over here, and believe it or not, the V-band welded up to the cast steel truck manifolds. Super easy. Apparently these Chevy exhaust manifolds are really easy to weld. It's really high quality metal. It welds really easy. There's no like porosity or whatever, some fancy welding terms. That shows up in the weld when you try to weld it. It's a really, you know, it's clean metal. It's cast steel, not cast iron, so it welds up nice. Some people like to preheat, but I just sort of tacked it on and, you know, stitch it up on the inside and outside. And that's to a 2.5 inch V-band because when I cut off the 3-bolt flange, that opening was 2.5 inches. This pipe, however, is 2.25, and I want to keep it small, around 2.25, just to keep the exhaust velocity up. So I had to expand this pipe to meet the 2.25 to 2.5 inch V-band. I ordered a bunch of U-bends and a single J-pipe from Summit, and this is the J-pipe over here. I cut it up and tacked it together, but funny enough, the J-tube is just slightly bigger than the U-bends. Both are, you know, listed as 2.25, but the U-bend fits inside of the J-bend. The outer diameter and inner diameters are just slightly different. It's off by like 1/8 of an inch. I can get it to fit. What I'm waiting on right now is a flex section in the middle. So this will go here, right? I'm gonna trim it a little bit, insert a flex section so as the motor heats up and everything, the turbo manifolds don't crack on me or split apart or stretch or whatever. And then I'm gonna bolt it up, or I'm gonna tack it in place, and then I'll check it and finally stitch everything up. Pretty easy, sort of, if you had the right tools. I don't have the right tools. I would love a chop saw to get this job done. However, I'm making do with what I got. And honestly, to cut the bends, I'm just using, you know, an angle grinder with a flap disc, this reciprocating saw, This is nice and compact. It's cordless. You know, it does its job. You have to swap the batteries after every like 5 cuts, but whatever. And an angle grinder. You all know what this is. Be careful using this shit. Once I make the turbo kit, I'm gonna create a little bracket that supports these pipes. I'm gonna bolt it to the engine. That way the weight of the turbo doesn't distort or flex or crack the crossover tubes. As far as the thermostat, you guys might be concerned that this merge collector is a little bit close, and you're right. In fact, it is. It is right smack in the way. But you can get a thermostat housing that's a straight through. It comes out like this as opposed to at an angle. And I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to make a custom radiator pipe that comes out, it bends down, and drops right in here. But you might notice that these inlets and outlets on the radiator is slightly too large. The LS1 outlet is 1 1/4 inch. However, the upper radiator outlet is 1 1/2. That's why I got this adapter over here. I got these from jagsthatrun.com, and this is, I guess it's turned on the lathe or something. It looks really cool. It's aluminum, and I'm gonna have a shop cut this and TIG it right in its place. So it's gonna have the right size inlet and outlet. Ideally, I want to get an aluminum piece that snakes like that, and it looks nice and clean. This is for the lower. Right, as you can see, it's the same size, it mates up. I'm going to cut it so it can weld right about at that length. It's going to look super nice. Also, I got an ECU. It's at my apartment. I don't have it with me right now. I'm going to insert the clip here so you can see the ECU that I'm using. It's an EFI Source Megasquirt 3 gold box. Over here you got the inputs and outputs for the harness, and over here is your USB port for for connectivity, and SD slot for data logging and all that kind of stuff. They give you this, it says 58X reluctant wheel turbo tune in unit. Tunes done by Denma, I believe, or Sloppy Mechanics. And shout out to Mike at EFI Source. These guys, him and Matt, they put in a lot of work to give the LS community essentially a cheap alternative to tunes, and it's been proven to make big horsepower too on a budget. The rest of this kit, you got a 3-bar map sensor in here. These are the 80-pound Siemens Deca 80 injectors. And this harness is a freaking godsend, because over here you've got connectors to the ECU. You've got accessories like nitrous, O2 sensors, fan, fuel relay. Here's a little relay to power the ECU, as well as fuses and stuff. And over here is what goes to the motor, and I've labeled everything. This one says IAT sensor, and these plugs are it's dead on. Like, you can't confuse one for the other, except for some of them that actually are the same. Like I think it's not the cam angle, it could be the idle air, I forget. But yeah, they are all different. This harness is done beautifully. It's all like all the wires are labeled. You've got injector 2 here. The individual wires they've got prints on them. You could say O2 sensor number 2, or something like battery 12 volts switched. The map sensor, the wires in here says map. It says ground and everything. So yeah, this is really well done. If you're on a budget, you need a tune, instead of going to Holly or something, check out EFI Source and get a pre-made kit. It's really affordable. Comes with injectors. Comes with all these extra, like if you're gonna run nitrous, if you're gonna run a trans brake or something, if you're drag racing, this is everything you need. I got these, I think this is inlet air temperature sensor as well as a coolant sensor. I think the factory inlet air just plugs in, but this one it's got a threaded bung on it, so you can thread into your intercooler piping if you don't want that thing to fly off. So really nice kit. Very happy with my purchase, and you got to give these guys a look-see if you wanted to run an aftermarket ECU on your LS powered project. So check them out. And also for the thermostat, I've got this this little piece of heater hose, and for the heater inlets and outlets, it basically just loops them, and one side is bigger than the other, and ICT billet makes this, and it just goes right in place, hose clamp it down, and it should loop these. I can remove these and put plugs in there, but I've heard people have had issues with plugging these up. I don't know why, but this is a better alternative compared to that, so I think I'm just gonna go with this. It's cheap, it's like 10 bucks. Alright guys, that just about does it for this episode. Please like and subscribe for more at the bottom. Also leave in the comments down below of what more you want to see of this project. Hope to catch you guys soon. Take care.